So there's this lie that's been around for quite a while, and it says Republicans are out of touch with the American people. Well, polls show it ain't us that's out of touch. It's them. It's the Democrats. Numbers don't lie, folks, and I'll give them to you in this video. What's up, guys? Welcome to The Rundown with Zinga. I'm your host, Zinga. So let's break down yet another way the Democrats are losing their grip on the culture. Just this week, a draft of a SCOTUS opinion overturning Roe v. Wade was leaked, and Democrat leaders lost their minds. Surprising? Hardly. It kind of shows a pattern. So if you go back to the last video, I laid out how terribly former Vice President Joe Biden and his administration are running the country. So to give you a visual, Joe's performance is comparable to the grumpy, Amber Heard left on Johnny Depp's side of the bed. According to polls, America agrees. But what was the Democrats' reaction to the fact that everything from diapers to lumber are more expensive? Well, the energy secretary laughed at higher gas prices. Kamala said, quote, "I acknowledge one must acknowledge that prices are going up," unquote. Chuck Schumer suggested getting rid of Trump's tax cuts to cure inflation. Elizabeth Warner accused corporations of price gouging to pad profits. And Joe Biden said in his State of the Union address, quote, "I have a better plan to fight inflation. Lower your costs, not your wages." Clearly, inflation and your way of life isn't being taken that seriously, especially since we have a baseline for those same people I just mentioned on how they react when they are actually enraged, when they actually care.
I cannot tell you the outrage I feel at this decision, and the outrage I feel that Republicans who did it won't own up to it.
I'm angry because we have reached the culmination of what Republicans have been fighting for, angling for decades now, and we are going to fight back.
How dare they? How dare they tell a woman what she can do and cannot do with her own body?
So let's be amateur behavioral analyzers for just a sec. If that's what they really look like when they care about what goes on in the country, why didn't they react that way when they realized Americans are suffering from inflation? Why don't they act that way when they realize the southern open border is crippling the country? Here's another question. Why is abortion the hill most Democrats want to die on when the American people ain't all that excited about abortion on demand? I promised you numbers at the beginning, and here they are. According to a poll released by the Associated Press, Americans don't think abortion should be legal after the first trimester. 65% generally oppose second trimester abortions, and 80% generally oppose third trimester abortions. A poll by Susan B. Anthony from 2019 shows that 77% agree that newborn babies born after an attempt to abort should receive medical care. A Marist poll shows that 58% say they don't support federally funded abortions. Boston, Pittsburgh, and Portland, Democrat-ran cities, all have paid abortion leave. Democrats even refuse to ban sex-selective abortions. The Democrat Party gets more of a shiver up their leg about abortion than Jeffrey Toobin does about Zoom calls. Democrats have more in common with communist countries than they do with our Western brethren. Ireland, Finland, Australia, and Norway all have banned abortions after 12 weeks or after 90 days gestation. The United States is one of the 7 countries in the world that allows for abortions after 30 weeks. Democrats have more in common with China and North Korea, communist countries, than actual Americans. So long story short, Democrats are more concerned about their own agenda than they are about you putting food on the table, having the ability to pay your employees, sending your kids to college, and you keeping your house. That is the very definition of out of touch, and Americans will make that crystal clear for them this November. Well, that's the rundown, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.